from the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 360.
Man, I'll tell you what, it's a gutsy performance week in and week out from this group. There's never any quit, and we just keep battling and fighting, and we find freaking ways, and we still haven't played our best ball. We still haven't. But guess what? We have an opportunity next week to do that against a division opponent. All right? So we got to get our preparation, we got to get our minds right to go down to Houston and get a division win. All right? All right, perfection isn't obtainable. It's not. But if you chase perfection, you can catch excellence. All right? So that's what we got to keep doing, man. Keep going for it. Keep stacking them. Hey, that's the fourth win, man. Now we got to go get number 5.
Hey, good work, fellas. Good team win. Make sure you take care of your body and get ready for this next one. Colts on me, Colts on 3, 1, 2, 3. Go!
Colts winners of 4 of their last 5 games as they head into Houston, and a tie atop the AFC South up for grabs. I'm Lara Overton. He's head coach Shane Steichen. This is Colts 360. Hey, Coach, sometimes football games can feel a little bit more like boxing matches. How true is that for the victory over the Miami Dolphins at home last Sunday?
It was a lot of back and forth. Obviously, it was a low-scoring game. I think our defense, played lights out. Holding Tyreek and Waddle to 19 yards receiving was as impressive as it gets. Credit to Gus and the defense staff and the DBs, putting that plan together. And then getting the turnovers like we did was huge. And then I think offensively, I think we went for 155 on the ground when we needed to run it there at the end in that fourth quarter. We got some big plays out of our offense there, so it was good.
And we're going to circle back to your defense, but does it get any bigger in Week 8 than the opportunity you have at hand going into Houston?
No, I think it's so funny, this league. I think every week it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger no matter what opponent you're playing. But obviously going into Houston, a division opponent is a huge game, and we know what's on the line going forward. So it'll be big for us.
All right, looking back to that game against the Dolphins and the defensive performance, defense allowed 0 second-half points, and I want to spotlight your linebacker group. Grant Stewart steps up for 18 tackles. Zaire Franklin has 16. Sheku Alubi has the forced fumble and the fumble recovery. Jaylon has his first career sack. Is this the deepest linebacker room in the league, perhaps?
It possibly could be, for sure. I know, obviously, not having EJ out there, those guys stepping up, and it was great to see Grant step up, Sheku step up, obviously Carly step up, and Zaire keeps doing his thing. So credit to those guys, credit to Richard Smith, our linebacker coach, preparing those guys week in and week out to get ready to play. But it was a great, gritty performance by those guys.
Grant Stewart, a guy who is from Houston, played collegiately at Houston. He has a very interesting story. Overcame tons of adversity within his family, ended up actually raising his siblings while he was playing college football and going to school, and then shows up in the way that he does. He has fought to earn every opportunity in this league. What do you see day in and day out from a guy like Grant Stewart that the rest of the world finally got to see last Sunday?
I'll tell you what, the way he practices with relentless effort, he does everything 100 miles an hour. I mean, he's like the Energizer Bunny in practice. He's yelling even when the offense is up. He's yelling, "Come on, offense!" And then when the defense is going, he's rolling special teams. I mean, he is going, balls to the walls all the time. And when you work that hard and you get your opportunity, usually good things happen, and that's what happened for him on Sunday.
And we will certainly see about DeForest Buckner and what transpires over the course of the week. But what has your defense really developed with that void of DeForest Buckner that they've really been forced to kind of rally behind in place of him?
Yeah, I think all those guys have stepped up in place of Buck. Obviously, getting Buck back, hopefully that happens this week, and that'll be huge for us. But those guys have stepped up, and they've played together, and they fight together. And our defense has been playing really good the last couple of weeks.
Anthony Richardson, his first game back from the injury. How impressive was his ability to fight his way out of some sticky situations and avoid some sacks against Miami?
That part was huge, obviously. His strength and his athleticism are there in the pocket to get out of those situations were big, and finding ways to just even throw the ball away. I know Ramsey comes off the edge on that one, and it should be sack fumble, and he finds a way to get out of it. So we got to have some situations, but it was good to see him out there running around again, being himself, having fun, smiling. So it was great to have him out there.
What's the next step you want him to take this week?
I think the biggest thing is you just want to see the continuous growth, you know what I mean? And myself too, just helping them, with the pass game stuff, all those little details that we go through. And continue to create those explosive plays.
And looking at the run game, Anthony ran the ball well. You had Trey Sermon getting the ground game going as well. Tyler Goodson comes up huge, of course, his first career touchdown. What has the run game and that group really established that now can work in complement with Jonathan Taylor?
You know, it's been great to see, Trey and Goody stepping up, in place of JT. These last couple of weeks have been big, and I think it always starts up front with the offensive line. Those guys are doing a hell of a job up front, creating those windows and creating those holes for the backs to get through. So hopefully getting JT back, this week, it'll be a great, complement of backs, back in the backfield.
Second time facing Houston since the start of the year. What's different maybe about the Texans than what you saw in week 1?
Well, I'm going to start diving into the film here pretty deep. But I know, they're a talented football team. I know Nico Collins, I think, might still be out, the receiver. But defensively, they're flying around. They're making a ton of plays. I think they're up there, one of the top defenses in the league statistically. So it'll be a heck of a challenge for us going down to Houston. But I know our guys will be fired up.
And you and D'Amico Ryans came into this division together as rookie head coaches. He's obviously a defensive-focused head coach. What do you enjoy about maybe going into these battles with D'Amico, the way he prepares his guys?
I think it's really more about the guys going into battle, to be honest, rather than me and him. But it's a good little chess match with the players going back and forth in battle and fighting like crazy to go try to find a way to win.
Coach, always appreciate the time. Let's go get that win in Houston on Sunday.
Let's go.
Always as a kid growing up, it's always been a dream to just, whether it was to go play in Jerry World or NRG, just because those are like the 2 biggest stadiums in the state of Texas. So.
Coming up, it doesn't get any bigger than going back to Texas for second-year cornerback Jaylon Jones. He joins us in studio as he looks to continue his breakout year in front of plenty of number 40 fans. That's next on Colts 360.
This season, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is teaming up with the Colts to shine a light on outstanding small businesses. Indy's our hometown, and boosting local business is just one way we want to thank this great city. Go to Colts.com/Anthem Spotlight to nominate your favorite small business today. Anthem and the Colts, helping Hoosier small businesses score. Forte Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, proud orthopedic partner of the Indianapolis Colts. At Forte, fellowship-trained physicians and staff provide comprehensive, specialized sports medicine and orthopedic care to active patients of all ages. To learn more, visit forteortho.com. Enter now for your kid's chance to be Junior Blue at the next Colts home game. Visit Colts.com/Meyer Junior Blue to enter today.
Hey, home win. Home win. Where the camera at? How I look? Okay, yeah. That's a home win! Home win! Let's go, baby! That's another one. Colts win. Big dog, man. Feel good, man. It was a good one today, Chad. See you next week.
Fresh off a victory at Lucas Oil Stadium in which the defense did not allow points in the second half, cornerback Jaylon Jones. How exciting is this week, going back, playing in Houston, Texas, the state that you graduated high school from? You played your college ball at Texas A&M.
Oh, it's exciting, man. A lot of family, friends are going to be there, most definitely. But always going back to Texas always feels good just because, home is home. But definitely, like I said, it's gonna be a fun atmosphere, for everybody. It's gonna be good for us. Going to get a divisional win coming up. So.
Cibolo, Texas, that's where your parents are, where you spent a good chunk there of your kind of later childhood through high school. How could you have envisioned having the opportunity to go back, play in the NFL, back in your adopted home state?
Definitely. I'm about to say, always as a kid growing up, it's always been a dream to just, whether it was to go play in Jerry World or NRG, just because those are like the 2 biggest stadiums in the state of Texas. So just going back and doing that, like I said, it's fun for like everybody. And definitely, gives, hope for kids back at home, man, that, you could do it too.
Being that Cibolo, Texas is just about 2.5 hours from Houston, what are your ticket requests looking like for this weekend?
Oh man, it's double digits for sure. Yeah, double digits for sure. It's gonna be a lot of people there, coming from all over the state of Texas, from East Texas, from people in Houston, people in Dallas, and people in San Antonio. So it's gonna be a lot of people there for sure.
And certainly the task that you have at hand, we've been talking about this, the bar, the assignments that you have been given week in and week out continue to be raised. How much are you looking forward to getting another opportunity to go up against C.J. Stroud and this Texans offense?
Oh man, it's exciting, man. A lot of fun. Like I said, just week in and week out, just I got a motto that I go by, just 1%. 1% every day. So I think we just take one game at a time, and you just look forward to your next opportunity. That's the best thing about it.
It is a little bit unusual to wrap up your road division games before Halloween. However, how are you benefiting from an opportunity to face the Texans twice within the first half of the season?
Oh, it's good, man, because it's a good challenge, and definitely like I said throughout the weeks, man, just just another step in the road, and definitely gonna just dictate how the rest of the season goes. The attitude that we go behind going into this game. So it's gonna be fun for everybody.
When I talked to Zaire Franklin last week, he was so quick to give you credit. He loved shouting out a fellow 7th rounder who is taking advantage of every opportunity he's been given. How hungry were you coming out of your rookie season, having an opportunity, one, to prove yourself, but then also to start in your rookie season and see what you would have to do to continue to be that guy for this defense?
Definitely hungry. Hungry is the word, but I couldn't do it without the coaches and my vets. They definitely, just helped me throughout the offseason and, coming back, OTAs, training camp, and just every week as we go through games, they just been, helping me throughout the way. So, but, after my rookie season, I just told myself, it got to be more. Got to be more. And I tell myself that every day. After every practice, I'm hard on myself. So, definitely having guys like Zaire, just in my corner to, help lead and things like that, man, it's a blessing.
How much have you benefited also from the vets that are within your DB room? One, a guy like Kenny Moore II, also Julian Blackman in there as well.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, it be things on the field before, for instance, this past game, man, there was a play where, Kenny literally told me what was going to happen, and I made the play on it. So having a guy like Kenny, Julian Blackman, Nick Cross, Sam, guys that, been in the league before me, they just give me the extra edge over, the opponent just because, they just help me on the field. So it's good to have those guys in the back end.
What was the play?
It was the play on a slant in a 2-minute at the end of the game. It was and people think I was a man, but I was in cover 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So definitely, just something like that. Just having a guy like that literally tell me hey Jay, it's coming right here. This is the play. You can't make those things up, man. So. But to say, like I said, just having a guy like Kenny Moore, somebody that proved himself and has done it, I mean, it's a blessing.
Those clutch plays to close out games are huge. So a lot more conversations coming with Kenny, I'm sure, coming up this Sunday at Houston. Jaylon, appreciate the time. And it was a big weekend last weekend at Lucas Oil Stadium, of course, because of the victory, but we also had some Colts legends in the house. Here is a little retro-style VHS recap of the Dallas Clark Ring of Honor ceremony.
You guys, Colts Nation, best fans in the league. You guys made us. You guys gave us the energy every Sunday. And we did our part. We made some plays. We kind of shocked the world every now and then. Colts Nation, it's an honor to be your Colt. It's an honor to be in that ring. And it's an honor to be your tight end. Thank you so much.
All right, Dad.
Everything's centered around being bigger and better against the run. Last week, 188 rushing yards allowed to the Miami Dolphins.
Still ahead, a tie with the Texans on the line. Voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, spotlights who looks to lead the Horseshoes versus Houston. That's coming up on Colts 360.
Snickers Rookie Mistake Program is back again this season. Learn how you could win Super Bowl 59 tickets at snickers.com/NFL. Colts fans, be sure to visit the Bud Light Party Zone at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Bud Light Party Zone is above the north end zone in front of the windows that open to the Indianapolis skyline. Bud Light, the official beer of the Indianapolis Colts. It's time now for the Forum Credit Union Question of the Week. Which NFL player has the most receiving yards against the Texans this season? The Colts' Alec Pierce with 125 yards on 3 catches back in Week 1. Visit the Forum Credit Union Fan Forum section of Colts.com to interact with other fans online. Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams. Two receivers go to the left, one goes to the right. Richardson goes in right up the middle, touchdown! The Red Sea parted, and it's Tyler Goodson right up the gut from 7 yards away. Touchdown, INDY!
View from the booth with voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, and the view will be coming from NRG Stadium in Houston this week. It does not get any bigger in Week 8 than the situation at hand for the Indianapolis Colts. Things are just big in Texas, right? The stadiums are big, the magnitude of the games. It's loud there in Houston.
Football.
High school football,
the brisket,
the steak, the barbecue, the margaritas, I don't know, everything. But
how would I know?
Mayte, what needs to be big this week for the Indianapolis Colts to get even with the Houston Texans?
Well, on offense for the Colts, it's everything bigger and better about the passing game. Last week, a season low, 189 passing the football, 129 passing the football. Anthony Richardson, just 41% completion percentage a week ago. So you need more completions overall, more accuracy, some more sustainability on third down. And the biggest thing from last week that I was most surprised by in the passing game for the Colts, Larry, you got a front row seat to it. Only one completion to Josh Downs after he was so impactful in the previous weeks going into that game. So that needs to be better. Just overall time of possession needs to be better against this Texan team that can move the ball and score some points. And then defensively, it's everything centered around being bigger and better against the run. Last week, 188 rushing yards allowed to the Miami Dolphins. They had a very ground and pound centered ground game going up against the Colts. And I looked it up earlier today, Lara. The Colts have faced 3 opponents that have rushed the ball at least 40 times against Indianapolis because, quite frankly, they know they can. They can win on first and second down, get themselves into third and short. So those are the big ones. Offensively, be better in the pass, and then defensively in this game, be better against Joe Mixon on the edges and not give up such a big game in the ground game.
And you wrap up your road AFC South schedule before Halloween.
Yeah.
You then get into the teeth of your schedule. I don't know that there's a team that has a tougher month of November than the Colts. How big is it this week up against Houston for them to tie atop the division and position yourself for where you want to be going into November.
Well, like you said, it's really unfortunate from an overall scheduling standpoint that the season series between the Colts and Texans will be over by Halloween. I mean, the NFL should have, backlog one of these games for November or December. But hey, it is what it is, right? You got to play the games on your schedule, and you got to play them no matter what. And this is a huge game considering, I mean, no disrespect to Tennessee. Looks like they're falling off. The Jaguars are falling off. Those two teams have a combined just 3 wins on the season. So right now, Lara, looks like a 2-horse race inside the AFC South, and rightfully so. Both of these teams look like they are contenders to win the division. Colts looking to do it for the first time since 2014. This is a mega game for both teams. It's going to go a long way in deciding who wins the AFC South.
And certainly the Houston Texans look a little differently than they did in week 1. The Colts are getting healthier going into this weekend. It is a huge matchup. That is a 1 o'clock kickoff Eastern time, noon kickoff though locally for us.
Set the alarm.
Who had that early alarm there in Houston. Always enjoy having my colleague Matt Taylor here with us in studio. We will be back here in studio next week with an all-new Colts 360. Thanks for gearing up for game day and starting your game day weekend with us right here on the show. We'll see you in Houston or back here in studio next week.